You're listening to Words and Music, which comes to you from the campus of Gardner Webb University. Our guest today is Chris Cook.
Chris.
Good one, Chris.
Nice tune.
Hey, thank you.
That almost seemed like a love song, you know, the first one of the day.
Yeah,
or?
it's kind of a schizophrenic ballad.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, we want to hear the story on the schizophrenic ballad.
You know, it's been so long since I wrote that one, I can't really remember what I was going through, but I'm pretty sure that I was doing a lot of soul searching, trying to figure out what it was I wanted to do, and you know, just not in a career aspect, but just, you know, what do you want to do, man, you know? And I never figured that out, but I got that song out of it, you know. You know.
That's most musicians. They're still working on that career thing.
Never happy, and it's just, you know, I mean, I'm happy, you know,
Sure.
in a roundabout way, but, you know, just everybody's always looking for something, you know, trying to, you know, just, like, it's like everybody's trying to get over a hump in some way. You know, I guess maybe that song's about that.
I think artistic people struggle with that probably more than non-artistic people, to say.
I would have to agree. Yeah, like a cook, you know, like a chef, you know, is always worried if his people's going to like his food, you know. You know, singers and songwriters always wondered, you know. Sometimes you just have to say, forget about it and just let it flow, you know, and it doesn't matter. You know, like I think George Harrison said one time, you know, keep swinging. Every song doesn't have to be a hit. Keep swinging, but you'll get one. You know?
Yeah.
So you just keep on writing it, you know. And, I think that's one of my best compositions, you know, as far as chord progression, lyrics. You know, it's got a good message. The beat's a little less to be desired. You don't think it'd be a very good American bandstand cut, you know. But,
Kind of a broad beat, yeah. You get time to think about the words, you know.
right, that's what the song's about.
But speaking of writing, I mean, you know, and quitting writing, I mean, what are you going to do if you stop writing songs? You've been doing it this long in your life. It's like, oh, I think I'll stop now.
No.
That doesn't happen, does it?
No, well, what happened here recently was, I think, in my case, I have to have an incentive. And this new record coming up gave me an incentive to, I've got a box of life's works, you know, and I said, I'm going to go through. I got through a really stale period of time where I just, man, I would sit down and try to write, and I would just lose focus after a line or two. You know, I'd wake up in the middle of the night and I'd have a great line. I'd go write it down and say, man, I'm going to write this song. And that's as far as I got. But I write my songs mostly from, I'll write some lyrics, I'll just write my thoughts down, and then it'll go in the box. I might not dig it back up for 4 or 5 years. And dig it out and say, man, you know, come up with a cool riff or progression and just say, I'll use these lyrics on that one, and that's how it happens. Or different ways. Some of them come, you know, in spurts, you know, where the songs comes to you in your mind and it's written in 10 minutes, you know. But I don't get very many of those. It's a struggle. It's a challenge, I'll say, for me to write.
2% inspiration and 98% perspiration, right?
Absolutely.
Working to try to get the words and the music together.
That's the chore. I won't say chore, I won't use that term there, I'll change that term to challenge. You know, that's the challenge. And you want to, you know, and especially if you get halfway through a song and you say, man, you want, but you know, you don't. You say, don't throw anything away. And
Do you get the melody? You know, does it come when you sit down with your guitar and the words you've been throwing out, or does it kind of cook in your head while you're thinking through lines?
I don't know. I don't know.
Happens.
It just, you know, that song, Who Can You Be?
It's got a nice melody, you know, and vocally you nailed it. You know,
I worked on
it. Yeah.
I wanted to have a song, and I think that was one of the first songs that I had ever written that I've really focused on the melody, you know, and it's structured from the A major progression. I wanted to write a song in a, you know, just an A major scale progression, and that's where that song started. It's just an A scale progression, and then I had those words put back somewhere, and they worked out. So it's crazy. There's no formula, I don't believe.
No, I don't think so.
Well, no, I guess not. Just if a good idea falls in my lap, I try to do something with it. You know?
Feels a fast right. Give 'em a good
Well,
idea,
you got to have that inspiration. The creative juices
Yeah.
are going to start.
Yeah, there's got to be the passion.
You got to have an idea.